Welcome back to Currency Highlights with Massabesic Gold and Silver. This week I have a couple fancy serial numbers to show you, but this note in particular has a very interesting Friedberg number, so I hope you stick around for that. I am Dean with Massabesic Gold and Silver. Thank you so much for stopping in and checking out my channel. Out of all the channels on YouTube, you decided to see what I had to offer, which makes me extremely happy, and I hope you put lots in the comments letting me know what you think of this video and other videos that I have produced. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you have already seen this note. This is a Series 1935D with a radar serial number on a silver certificate. I picked this note up on Heritage Auctions, and I really like it, and I'm glad I brought it into my collection. The signature combination is Clark Schneider. Based on that signature combination, this note was printed sometime between 1949 and 1953. What I found interesting about this note after I purchased it is the Friedberg number. I didn't really understand it. There's two Friedberg numbers for the 1935D silver certificate, and that is 1613W and 1613N. This, of course, is a 1613N, and it has to do with the reverse or the back of this note. In particularly the border where the green printed area is, especially right near the $1 and above the United States of America, is the most noticeable of it. The reason why this is the narrow one is the BEP shrunk it down just by 3 millimeters. The research that I had done said that the BEP was experimenting with the size of the unprinted gap in an attempt to reduce the number of miscut errors. They reduced the vertical printed area of the note by 3 millimeters. Hence why you have a wide and a narrow. I thought this was very interesting, and I wanted to share it with you today because I had no idea what it was when I purchased this note, and clearly, to me, it's interesting. So I wanted to share that with explanation with you, and also just a great, fun, fancy serial number. And I also have another silver certificate here. This is a repeater fancy serial number, 7989 on a Series 1957 silver certificate. Again, this one I think I got on eBay, if I remember correctly, at auction. It's actually in really nice shape, and I do plan on sending this off to be graded at PMG. So I'm hoping this will get a really high grade, similar to the other note I have here, maybe even more. You know, I really think the margins on this note look really nice. The paper is exquisite. Really nice. So I'm hoping for a high grade. I love looking at these notes, especially up close. I love the blue ink for the serial numbers. I just think that's really cool. I would love to see that back on our notes today. But anyway, the blue seal here looks nice as well, and the paper itself looks fantastic. You can see, if we compare these, you can see that the BEP obviously decided to go with a more narrow border here in that printed area. And I don't really know if it actually did help to reduce the amount of miscut errors. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. In my research, I really couldn't find that answer. But if you know, go ahead and put in the comments. But again, this is just a beautiful note. You can actually see through this paper just how the embossing, if you will, where the plate really indented into the paper. It's just really exquisite. I'm really glad I purchased this, and I got it for a relatively inexpensive price. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting lost here looking at the details here. Look at this. You can actually see the $1 is, I don't know if you can see it. I know you can see the ink on the other side, but the line, the embossing's almost coming through to this side of the paper. It's so neat how nice this is. It's a very crisp bill. You're right here. You can see a line from the embossing. It's pretty neat. Of course, my lighting isn't good enough to show you that, but anyway, it's a beautiful note. I look forward to sending this off to PMG. Yeah, look right here. You can see all the indentations here coming through. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. This note is, as I said, this note's really exquisite, and it's got a nice repeater serial number on it. So I'm hopeful that this note will grade fairly high. So I will be doing a video on a bunch of notes that I'm going to be sending off to PMG, and then of course I'll do a reveal video. I should say a big thank you to Dustin Whitty, who is actually doing the work of sending them to PMG. I'm just handing off my notes to him, and he'll be taking care of them. And if you like fancy serial numbers, you really should head over to Dustin Whitty's channel. He has a great channel, and he does a ton of fancy serial numbers. I'm just comparing the margins here. Yeah, they look really, really nice. In comparison to each other. And this note here is a 65, so I'm hoping 65 or maybe even better on this note. We'll see. I'm obviously not a grader. I could be missing a lot that's on this note. It looks incredible to me, but I'm not a professional grader, and I'm fairly new to currency. So, I could be way off here thinking that this is a high grade when it's not. But to me, it looks like a beautiful note, and I really, really do believe that it will come back a high grade. And I'm just looking along here again. Just look at all this detail from the face of the note coming to the back of the note. Just incredible. And I really love this the fancy serial number, the repeater, and I like that it's 7, 9s, and 8s. I think that's kind of fun too. I don't know. I love fancies, especially on the old silver certificates as well. Obviously, fancy serial numbers get much more expensive on older notes, especially large size notes. I'm just not that far into fancies to be spending that much money on them. But anyway, all right, folks, until we meet again, stay safe and continue to enjoy.